Hey guys, been on the work grind today. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Figured I'd take a walk and have a talk with you guys. Um, so I want to talk about what I just finished discussing with my 9-year-old son. Um, he was watching a show that he watches, like all the time, right? Like 90% of the time, if he's watching TV, he's watching the show, and just I don't even know how to describe it, what the name of it is. It's definitely a cartoon, but definitely something that's, of questionable value. Gave him the, yeah, when I was a kid, speech. I used to watch Discovery Channel. I used to watch National Geographic sometimes. Um, if you are going to watch some things, and, you know, it's fine to watch TV some, but try to mix up. Try to mix some things in there that are a little bit more educational in nature, for him. Because the rationale behind it I gave him was, you know, it, the screen here, the TV and the game screen, like that's not like that's not life. You know what I mean? That's not what the world rotates on. That's not what the world consists of. And, try to not watch this all the time. Then I went to my office, reflected a little bit on, okay, again, he's emulating. He's doing what he sees me doing, what he sees his mom doing. And I'm like, okay, let me go back out and kind of explain more about what I meant. So I was like, okay, look, we live in a world where we got to make money to 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 afford the everything that we have, right? Housing, clothes, activities, food, etc. And just so happens that my way, and I would say probably too for a lot of people, not everyone, certainly, it's a good mixture, of course, but my way, I've worked with computers. I've been in the IT industry for my whole adult career, my whole adult life, right? So he sees me on the computer, you know, um, for or in my office, in my office on the computer for several hours a day. And I told him, look, yeah, you see me in front of a screen or multiple screens, basically. But look, I'm doing this not necessarily for entertainment. Doing this to make money, right? To make ends meet. And so, if I weren't doing this and I didn't, money wasn't an issue, man, I would much rather be outside with you right now, throwing a football, running routes, throwing the frisbee, jumping in the trampoline, um, playing basketball in the driveway, um, breaking out the bow and arrow and practicing some archery, maybe fishing. Um, there were several things I would prefer to be doing right now than being inside, sitting in front of a screen, whichever screen it is, right? Phone screen, tablet screen, laptop screen, TV screen, playing a video game, whatever, right? Um, there's so many things. And he's emulating what he sees me doing. So I just had to try to make sure, and I know he knows that I'm working, but sometimes I don't know that he, disconnects the two from, all he sees is that I'm in my office spending time in front of a screen for several hours a day. He's doing the same thing, right? What's the problem here? So, so I just kind of told him that I'm doing this out of necessity, right? Um, and versus preference, right? As I said, I described the things to him that I would much rather be doing if I wasn't on the computer. And And it's not necessarily about being on a computer. Here's a very important point here. It's not that I'm always in front of the computer, right? If I was in another field, let's just say I'm a truck driver, or I work at a gym, I'm an athlete, whatever, but I'm not there, right, in front of him when I'm doing it. Okay, that's the hidden factor, right? He doesn't see me doing that, so I could be, going to the gym, 5 o'clock in the morning, which I do. I get all my stuff out the way, all my adult stuff and personal stuff out the way. What matters is what he sees me doing in the house, right? That's when I talk about the emulation. That's the part I'm talking about. That matters is what he sees me. What am I doing when he's around? What am I doing when he sees me? And he has several hours to observe because I am at home a lot. I've been working from home or having a hybrid, work culture for several years now. I would say most of his life, maybe except for his first 2 years. Well, he's 9. I would easily say definitely half his life for the last 4 years or so for sure. Been just about almost 100%, remote. So he has plenty of opportunity to observe me during the working day, at home, in my office, and he sees what I'm doing. And yes, there are periods of time where the days are pretty long. I could be in my office in front of the computer, up until 7, 8 o'clock, at night, sometimes even longer, just depending on what's going on. Not proud to say that. Certainly not ideal, but it's just that has been the reality sometimes, and that is the current reality for my company right now. We're trying to move into a different space, and we're trying to, again, it's a new space, and we're just trying to find our footing there. So anyway, I don't want to get off kilter, but the point is that it's not that I'm not doing anything else, not that I'm lazy or whatever. It's the time that he has to observe is the time that matters the most. And so I just, again, felt the need to tell him that, look, if the world was not run on everybody had to make $1 to live for every single thing that they have, there's so much more to it than just sitting in the house going from screen to screen to screen, right? When given a choice, right? And it's so easy to say that, and you'd be like, okay, well, when I was a kid, I was outside for hours, going from one sport to the next, one street to the next, one house to the next. It's true. And you're trying to wrap your head around, okay, well, why aren't they doing that? I mean, there's so many factors there. I'm not going to even go into that. Nothing is the same. A lot of things are different nowadays. But he's emulating what he's seeing me do now, and that's being inside, not knowing what I did as a kid. He's emulating what he sees now. So, the message was, again, if society was different, how would I get him to choose the time? How would I, what should he be doing differently if he had the opportunity to choose his time, which he does right now as a kid. But I told him that you have that choice now, but and you're shielded from so many things. I'm not going to be here forever. Mom is not going to be here forever. So ultimately, you are going to have to learn um, what to do. And I'm not talking about learning how to just make money, you know, pick up a computer, learn my skills, learn how to code. Like, no, I'm talking about the bare, I'm talking about nature, stuff of nature, the basics, right? Um, Learn how to fish, learn how to hunt, learn more about the weather, um, learn more about, the seasons, um, kind of basic survival stuff, how to make a fire if something were to happen. Just learning more about the environment that you live in. And right now, you would think that learning about the environment that we live in, it would almost seem as though that environment is a social environment or a social media environment, or I won't even, that's kind of limiting. I would say the digital world, right? The, the digital age is here, and it is so easy now for the kids to insert into that. And so from this website to this website, this gaming experience, that gaming experience, so easy to get plugged into that and think like, oh, this is the world. Like, this is where people are choosing to spend their time, and this is where I'm spending my time. And I'm like, no, I mean that is basically a simulation, you know. Um, that's the simulation. That's the digital world where we, have avatars of who we project, or maybe have just an alternate persona that we wouldn't project out in the real world. If you playing a shooting game, hey man, you gotta go get the kills, but you might be the nicest person in the real world, right? But if you're playing a game that requires, you to have a high kill to death ratio, then you gotta go do that, right? So it's a simulation, right? That's not who I am. I'm a kind-hearted, soft-spoken, reserved, etc. So trying to, let him know that we're not going to be here forever, and you have to find your identity in the world. I'm talking about the real identity. Being grounded in what's around you, being grounded in nature, in the world, not the digital world, the physical world. Of course, there's spiritual. I'm not going to get into that right now, but certainly I just wanted to acknowledge that my thinking isn't limited to just thinking that everything is in 3D and the physical reality here. Yes, spiritual, and he's aware of that. My wife and I, my wife mostly, we'll do like guided meditations and stuff like that with him. We'll do grounding sessions outside. So we do all that too as well. But just letting him know that there's real, I'm not going to say danger necessarily inherently within the digital world, but I will say it's danger in not understanding or being naive, right, enough to think that the digital world is the world that you need to really, fully get into, right? And it's not. People can drop off of social media, come back a couple years later, and didn't really miss anything, most likely. Some information, I don't know. Most other people will still be there, and so they can send out new requests, which is kind of shady too. But I won't get into that. But I think you guys get my point here. So just wanted to share that, kind of prompting to have that discussion with my 9-year-old just in the middle of the day. Just I guess the message for him is kind of be more present, be more aware of your environment. And I'm not necessarily putting it all on him. I think a lot of it has to go on him. But obviously as a parent, I have to kind of be his guide to show him that, right, as well. And we do that. We go outside, we take breaks, and whatever. Like I said, throw the football, throw the frisbee, run routes, play basketball, jump on a trampoline. We do all those things. It's more about the time, really it's more about the time that he has the unstructured time. And I'm not trying to dictate, all of his unstructured time. I'm just trying to guide him and to let him know he has more choices. He has more things to think about, right, than just being entertained every time he has a screen in front of him. The screen is there for entertainment. The screen is there for education and information too as well. And so just trying to make sure that he understands that and he's getting a blend of that. So that's it, guys. Thanks for walking with me and talking with me. I'm probably about I just turned around. It's a halfway. I'm at the halfway point for my walk. So I'm going to take the rest of it in kind of silence and plan out how I am going to attack my next set of immediate problems and the rest of the day. All right. Thank you, guys. Take it easy.